What's up, Tweener heads? Welcome back to another video today, and if you are new to the channel, welcome to Tweener Head Tennis. This is where we talk about tennis in a more casual, more fun way, so that way you guys can understand what's going on in the sport, and to join me on these tennis adventures of what we're doing from a weekly basis, daily basis, you name it, we have it. And today we have a very interesting interview and segment with tennis pro Noah Rubin about some pretty recent tweets that Vasek Pospisil has been tweeting about concerning about money players are receiving, how much money needs to be spent on the tour, and just in general how these players can survive that are not inside the top 100. So we're gonna call up Noah right now, and he's gonna join us for this conversation. Here we go.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 5-1.
All right, so we have Noah Rubin on the phone. So Noah, thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Thank you. This is actually the second interview we've done with you. The first one was in Cleveland, right?
Cleveland, yes.
When we first did the, what was it? The Behind the Racquet.
Yes, that was earlier in the stages of Behind the Racquet, yeah.
I would like to say I was the first one to interview about that.
I think you definitely were. I would have to say you were the first, getting on the ground level.
Yeah, I would like to say that was my first successful Twitter acknowledgement with my 290 followers.
No, that was really good. A lot has happened since then, but you were definitely one of the first ones.
I appreciate that, and you've been doing pretty successfully with it, I would have to say. I mean, the latest one with the, who was it? The old gentleman that's 99 right now.
Bob Ryland, the first African-American tennis player who paved the way. It was, I'm actually fairly friendly with him. Not sure why I didn't have this idea beforehand, but it is an incredible story. He turned 99 years old. Yeah, truly something. But all these stories are really unique, and I'm just happy to be doing them. How'd
you meet him, or how'd you get in touch with him? Because he was very out of the blue. I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, so actually, he coached my father when my father was really young.
Really?
Yeah, and I believe this was out of Forest Hills and a few other clubs in New York. And, they've been in touch. My mom's actually been in touch with both of them, him and his wife, for a long time. And my mom kind of brought up to me that she knew Behind the Racquet, and she helped me out. And, yeah, it was perfect. I mean, for to be 99 years old and to still speak and then have all these ideas, you just want to really kind of get to the bottom of all his thoughts. But I was really happy to be a part of it.
That's awesome. Congratulations for that. I can't wait to read the next one.
Yeah.
But today we have a different topic that has been going around on Twitter recently with the amount of money that has been spent for players and their expenses, and Vasek Pospisil's tweets that have been kind of going viral a little bit, at least on the tennis side of Twitter. And you chimed in a little bit. So talk us through what has been on your mind recently with all that's going on. And this is very open. Don't be afraid to share how you really feel. I mean,
no, of course, I never hold back.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, no, I'm not PC as much anymore. I'm understanding that in order to really get the change that you want to see and really open people's minds, you have to be honest. And this is only, this is about facts. And I've spoken about it a couple times, and I've been in the realm of figuring out different ways of making tennis a more financially stable sport, a more mutually beneficial sport for players and the people running the tournament, people involved. And there's a lot that needs to be done because if you're going through my tweets and Vasek's tweets and you're seeing what's really taking place in the percentage just given back to the players and how hard just tennis is as a sport with how long the seasons are and how grueling it is on the body, you're almost looking at it like, why do people play it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a question I'm being asked a lot, and then, even on my Twitter now, people are like, how are you not playing baseball? And I'm like,
yeah,
I know, we've all thought about it, but, we're all here and we're all fighting against tennis only because we love it so much.
Because you want to see it grow and you want to see it prosper.
We want to see it die out. We want to see it evolve. We want to see it get to a place where it's so stable and people are loving just watching tennis, and I can walk the streets of New York and people are talking about tennis,
Mm-hmm.
unlike what it is now, where, you know, Dominic Thiem can walk the streets of New York City and be unrecognized.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how it is. And I understand.
That's the sport.
That's the sport. But I think there are definitely ways to make it more fan-friendly, more promotable,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to take a lot of moving parts, and it's going to take a lot of people, you know, getting outside of their usual mentalities, but I think we can get it done.
I definitely agree, and I think when it comes to, and I've been thinking about this recently, when you think about tennis, it's a very individual sport. We talk about how players have teams, but it's not necessarily a team aspect. It's your team, your coach, your physio, your manager, your agent, but it's not necessarily the sport or the team of a city. Like, you have these athletes that are playing for a city, they're playing for a state or a country, so everyone within that city or state is being recognized, can recognize this person.
No, 1,000%. I mean, you know, it's a different feeling, you know,
Mm-hmm.
having the individual aspect and the not having a jersey aspect, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's very tough for people to get so ingrained in one person.
Oh, yeah.
Just, you know, to have that die-hard crazy fan,
Mhm.
you know, it is very rare and will only happen for the, you know, the top players.
Mhm.
And, you know, but if that top player had somebody who was 70 in the world,
Mm-hmm.
you know, on their team, and had somebody that was 150 on their team,
Yeah.
there we go. Now you have the team of guys that are being followed.
Exactly.
And the team itself being watched like never before. You know,
100%.
you know, these are smaller aspects, but that will make a tremendous difference. And I know team atmospheres, people find that it may lose the beauty of tennis, but we're still going to be playing
Mhm.
tennis. We're not losing that much of that love that everybody, you know, has for the sport. And
Mhm.
I think it's just going to bring that enthusiasm back.
I totally agree. And when it comes to, in that team aspect, kind of transitioning over to the money side, when you see the amount of money that is in tennis, at least for sponsorship and things like that, and then you see how much the players are actually spending to survive, like the first tweet from Vasic was, the cost for a coach and physio for 30 weeks is about 300 to 400K. I don't know if you can relate to that, but the prize money earnings from players from 101 to 150 is less than 300K. It's about $276,000. Like, and for teams, they have all that covered for them. They don't have to worry about it.
Well, that's the thing, and I know, actually, I have friends in like the MLS, and I know that they're not getting paid, but they should be getting paid as well.
Mhm.
But if we're comparing, you know, let's say, you know, a couple of my friends make $80,000-$90,000 a year.
Yeah.
They're
For-
making that money.
Yeah.
They don't have expenses on the side. That's
Mhm.
actual income. Yes, of course,
Exactly.
they pay taxes and whatever else, but that's their actual income for the year.
I totally agree.
And if, you know, as a player, you're getting, let's say, even 150 grand,
Yeah.
you're looking at that like, okay, I have 50 to 60 grand of my own expenses, and then if I actually want to be professional and have a coach and or a physio,
You have to pay them.
then I'm bankrupt. Then I'm 100 grand in debt at that point. It's like, that's what you're dealing with. It's not, you know, the expenses is what really tears away, and, you know, and the fact that we're not given anything. You know,
Yeah.
we may have hotels every once in a while at these tournaments, but we have no coaches, we have no physios. Yeah, we can use some of the tournament ones, but it's not that same professionalism. You want your own team.
Exactly.
You know, so that, to really make it to where you want to be, yeah, it's a really tough system.
And I think we're more focusing, and for the viewers, when we focus on this kind of money, we're focused on more the lower side of the rankings, because people within the top 50 or in the top 10 for that matter also have appearance fees and sponsorship, but people that are still trying to make it into that higher level, they have to travel by themselves. They can't pay coaches to come with them for 30 weeks, and that's if they can find a coach for that long that's willing to sacrifice their own lives for them to train with you, right?
Yeah, no, it's there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, I put up a graph on my Twitter that kind of explains, you know, the top athletes in the world and how much money they receive, and
Mhm.
Federer and Tiger Woods were on that list.
Yeah.
But I believe it was somewhere around 90-95% of their money actually came from endorsements and not prize money.
Yeah.
So if that is true.
Yeah, I found it.
And my ranking is not at a place where I'm going to get that much money from endorsements.
Exactly.
And I'm not getting any money from prize money. Where am I going to get my money from?
Exactly.
So obviously, I try to be a little bit different than some of the other players. I'm working on 1,000 different things.
Yeah.
Working as hard as I can to open up different doors. But
Exactly.
May not, and I still am not making money from these ventures yet. But it's like, where do we make money from?
Exactly. Like, where's your next paycheck going to come from? And that's weird to think about as a professional athlete. You see all these things and you think, oh, they're making money. You are playing so well. You're in the top 200 in the world. But yeah, like, what's next? Like, if you lose in the second round of a challenger, how much are you really making?
Right. I mean, it could be. Well, it depends what second round now. If it's a draw and you're not seeded, you make like $500. It's almost futures money now in the first few rounds.
Which is crazy because it's an 80K. And 80K is like the purse of the tournament. But then even if you win, what do you get? What, like 10,000? Not even?
Yeah, about 10 grand. Which people are like, that's great, and I'm like, you don't know how tough it is to win a challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Because everyone's kind of resorting to that now.
Right, and if you're finaling instead of winning, you're getting 6, and if you're semiing instead of winning, you're getting 3, and then 3 grand after expenses is not that much.
It's probably like 1,400 because you're still paying for everything.
Yeah, so there's a lot that needs to actually be looked at. I know there's some, players such as Racquet that, that have the same mentality that I do, that something needs to be done, and hopefully we can kind of join forces on that front. But, a lot of ideas, and we'll see. Yeah,
I'm looking at your chart right now, and I love the Roger Federer one where it's salary winning $7 million and then $86 million worth of endorsements because of his Uniqlo contract. Same with Tiger Woods.
Yeah, no, it's insane. So, if I'm not getting that endorsement money, and obviously I'm not getting the $7 million that he's won because he's the winningest tennis player, basically.
Yeah, basically.
So where am I getting my money?
Exactly. So that's what you have to think about next, and
yes,
that's the hardest part when it comes to that.
No, 100%.
So, and I think, what was it? The ranking system that Fritz tweeted about was my next topic.
Yes.
But the protected rankings. So, for those who don't know, in the PGA, you have some leniency if you're injured, and correct me if I'm wrong, Noah. There's some leniency where if you're injured for 8 months, you get to keep your ranking or your ranking safe for a year, I believe, correct?
Yes, I mean, you're talking about protected rankings, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so, the protected ranking, I believe, I want to say 6 months, it could be 8.
Okay.
Where if you're out for an extended period of time, your ranking can be saved,
Mm-hmm.
and then I believe it's like you have to, if you use your protected ranking 3 or more times, when you come back, then your protected ranking falls off or something like that. I don't know actually the specifics, but yes, I mean it can help you with injury.
Yeah,
but with that being said, it's not your actual ranking. It allows you to get some tournaments where maybe that 5 tournaments does not help. Maybe you lose the first round and then you have no ranking.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a few Fritz's tweets. He had the 2-year idea. I don't think that's a possibility in this sport right now.
I think it's very tough to think about because I'm not gonna lie, I like the reply to one of his tweets. Because someone said, I can't possibly agree with this. If we had a 2-year point system, Jack Sock, despite earning a grand total of 550 points in the last 18 months, would be ranked higher than Felix.
Yes, so, yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, so...
I mean, that's kind of the idea that I was thinking, that if you did extraordinarily well in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then a year and a half later, you haven't won a match, and you're still...
ranked that high.
That's a difficult thing to do. Yeah, I mean, again, and I'll say this, like I've said before, we're looking at it at like such a small level. We have to do like tremendous changes from the top. Like we really, like we're looking at it to try to work with the system we have now.
Yeah.
And that's, yes, you might, help certain aspects, and there are definitely ways to make this system better.
Yeah.
But no. We have to really, really work hard in getting into a place where it's totally different, where the mentality of tennis is different. Where it's a more affordable sport, so we can actually bring more revenue into the sport where you have just a completely different atmosphere. And we have to look at it in a different mindset. And
it's so tough.
And then these minor things where, you know, you can have these, you know, 2-year rankings and you can make a little more money at some of these lower level tournaments. But I want, you know, just totally destroying the system and kind of starting over, which is always a really tough thing to do. But I have to see if people are open to it and where we can go from there.
It's just tough when you think about it because, like you said, we're trying to bring more money into it. We're trying to make the sport more popular than it is, to bring in a new culture, to bring in a new demographic, I guess, and bring in more kids to play the sport. But when you watch tournaments and you see stands that are not even half filled at some of the bigger tournaments, it's hard to promote a sport that doesn't really attribute to a younger generation that we're trying to bring up.
I mean, that's the only thing we should be looking at.
Yeah.
That is literally the only thing, because with more fans, with people paying to see it, with TVs allowing more coverage, so, you know, because people want to be watching tennis on TV, with all of that more enthusiasm and more respect for the game and just, you know, people excited to watch tennis,
yeah,
then everything comes with it, and you don't have to worry about anything.
And
you don't have to worry about is USGA giving us enough money, is ATP giving us enough money, because you know what, there's going to be a point, like in a lot of other sports, where, yeah, you know, players get upset because they're still not making quite enough, but there's not this total aggravation and just upset with how the system's being run because they're not making any money.
Yeah.
So, you know, with that new love for the sport and with that, you know, overall revenue increase, that changes everything.
It's just so tough to see, like, a sport that we love and that we have so much passion for kind of dwindle because there are sponsors for these tournaments, but then there's no... And I'm not blaming anyone in this regard for the marketing standpoint, but how are we supposed to change a sport where it's become such a traditionalist point of view when it comes to this is how we see it, this is how we're trying to make it, and there seems to be some disagreement with that. Even broadcasting it, like Tennis Channel, Tennis TV, those are the only two ways you can watch it, especially with the smaller tournaments. How are we supposed to have access to it?
1,000%. And again, this is my thing. I'm not blaming it on that.
Yeah.
Because tennis is not a sport that's fit for TV. Yeah, if you have a tennis channel that's made for this, then that's fine. But if you're telling ESPN, especially on some of the, you know, non-Grand Slams, like, okay, now you're going to have to block off, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 12 hours, and we'll see what kind of time, you know, we have while progressing. And, you know, and I promise you, some people are going to turn off the TV in the middle because they're just tired of watching the same match.
Yeah.
All these other reasons that make it, you know, so tough to actually watch and be a part of it. That's the issue. That's the problems that we're having, and we need quicker matches. We need shorter seasons. So
shorter seasons. I definitely agree with you because
that would be beneficial for both the players and the people watching.
Why is there a China swing after the U.S. Open? That's what I don't get. And there's another Masters 1000 that people are playing for after the U.S. Open. I feel like, and this is like a whole nother argument that we can get into later, but not necessarily right now. Like, why is there a Paris Masters 1000 after the U.S. Open? Like, why do people still need to play that? Why is the off season so short?
I'm not against, and I think we need an Asia swing. I think whatever new system is, we need an Asia swing because, I mean, the revenue that comes from that demographic is just incredible.
Yeah.
So also, and the Paris Masters, I heard, is an incredible tournament. I have yet to play it, but
same.
With that being said, yes, the timeline of everything is definitely messed up.
Yeah.
It is definitely not at the right point, and we need
to figure it out.
We need to figure it out because I'm looking at these 250s and these 500s.
Yeah.
And they're not making money, and they're losing money, and they're losing fans, and there's still 10 people watching these events. So those are the ones where, you know, you have to really figure out if you need them and if there's different ways to have the point system and more team events. And can we have a team atmosphere that is based on ATP points so we can play these team events and get ATP points and not just for, you know, the top 2 players like this ATP Cup. Like, I get it. You know, it's great. It could be good for tennis and get more exciting and bring this new fan base. But you're talking about it's only affecting, like, the top 2 players from every country or from a certain country, and that's not changed.
It's weird how that works, because I don't know why we're adding another team dynamic to the ATP. Like, we started, now Laver Cup's now a part of the ATP and is now an affiliate of it this year in Geneva. Why are we adding ATP Cup? Like, there's so many more things that they're adding to the calendar and making it longer that, for me at least, from a fan's perspective, can be a good thing and a bad thing. Like, what do you think about it?
I'm in favor of team atmosphere. I'm in favor of that. I just think they're still doing it on such a small level. You're only doing the top players, so obviously the rich are getting richer still.
Yeah.
And I think, it's not having the impact to bring new tennis fans. I don't see it yet.
Yeah.
I think we have to get to a point where we have, and I've kind of worked on kind of a new system where we would have a team atmosphere that has ATP points involved, that has different divisions, that has different leagues, so you don't have to travel around the world all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we need to be, and I think we're so far away from that.
Yeah, I agree, and on this last note, I think we just need to figure out how we can incorporate more people and how to incorporate more players in that matter to help them out if they, especially from the ATP standpoint, if they need more players, they should be helping out ones that are struggling, that are on the verge of doing well, right? Because you have players that are in the top 200 that are still struggling to get to tournaments, and I feel like it's filtering out from maybe a 1,000 ranking system to maybe a 250 ranking system in terms of the amount of players in the on tour.
No, 100%. No, you're correct.
And with that filter, I think we need to do something about it, and with you being so vocal about it and other players speaking out about it on social media, we need more of that transparency between fans, players, and the organization. So I think what you're doing is great, and I think with that, I think a lot of people should be reaching out more and trying to give their opinion about what they need to do to help the system rather than staying quiet with it.
Yeah, but that's always what happens. I mean, before change, 99.9% of the people just go with the flow, even if they see the problems, or they just stay quiet, and they just, they're like hoping that something's going to come about.
Oh, of course.
There's only going to be a few people that, see the potential, see where they can help change,
and
are willing to be a part of it. And, I'm going to be one of them, and I hope other players can get, and be a part of it, and, we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah,
and I thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know people that are listening to this and watching this are really, hopefully, enjoying this video. But thank you again, Noah, for joining us today. And hopefully we get in touch soon. And I'll hopefully see you this year again.
Yes. No, it should be great. No, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Noah.
Of course. Yeah, talk to you later.
Talk to you later, bud. So thank you again to Noah for joining us. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a big like on it, and make sure you're subscribed to Tweener Tennis so you don't miss interviews like that with Noah and other professional players that we have coming up. If you want to check out more of what Noah is doing with Behind the Racquet and his Twitter and what he's trying to promote with his contribution to the tennis world, I'll leave the link to his social medias, Behind the Racquet, and his personal ones down in the description below. If you want to check out more behind the scenes content from us at Tweener Tennis, check out all our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as our website at tweenerheadtennis.com. And I hope to see you guys for the next video and more videos to come in the future. Thanks, guys.